The roses always bloomed more fiercely when they were touched by sin. At least, that's what Sister Alara thought every time she walked into the convent garden and saw the new gardener tending to them, sleeves rolled up, sweat glistening on his forearms, that devilish smirk barely hidden behind those overgrown curls. He wasn't like Brother Louis, the old gardener who retired after breaking his hip. No. This one didn't belong here, not among the celibate, not among the silent, not among the saved. And she was starting to believe, neither did she. Matteo de Rossi had never knelt for anything, not in prayer, not in mercy, and certainly not in guilt. He knelt now only because he had to trim the damn lavender bushes. Blood still stained his palms from the night he fled Milan. The smell of gunpowder had been replaced by soil and rosewater, but it was still there, under his fingernails, in his head, buried behind his careful lies. He wasn't a gardener. He was the heir to the de Rossi crime family. And he was hiding in a convent. His uncle wanted him dead. Matteo had refused to marry a rival's daughter, and then made it worse by sleeping with her instead. When he overheard his own cousin planning to hand him over in exchange for power, Matteo did the only thing he could: he disappeared. A forged ID. A priest with a favor to repay. A borrowed name, Matteo Ferraro, landscape apprentice. Now he mowed lawns instead of people. Trimmed hedges instead of alliances. Hid in plain sight. And tried like hell not to stare at the nun with the honey-brown eyes and lips too soft for prayers. Alara had taken her vows 2 years ago. She'd grown up poor, quiet, and invisible, the kind of girl boys passed by for someone louder, shinier, easier. But God saw her. The church took her in. So why did her faith feel weakest when she saw him? Matteo didn't speak much. But when he did, his voice had a gravelly edge that sent a thrill down her spine and straight into the pit of her stomach, a reaction she prayed away every night. Today, he was fixing the trellis near the confession booth. Shirt slightly untucked. Hands dusted with soil. Alara, he said, not Sister Alara, like the rules didn't apply to him. She startled. It's Sister Alara. He gave a slow smile. Didn't mean to offend. You just don't look like a nun. Her cheeks flushed hotter than the summer sun. What's a nun supposed to look like? Not like that, he said, eyes sweeping across her face like a sin waiting to happen. Not like someone who makes a man forget he's supposed to repent. That night, Alara lay in her cot, prayers half finished. She told herself he was just testing her faith. That this was a temptation sent by the devil himself, except the devil had never had eyes like that. Storm gray. Wild. Like they'd seen things they couldn't forget. She hated how he made her feel, alive. She hated that part of her liked it. Matteo knew he was dancing with fire. He should have picked another hiding place. A fishing village. A crowded city. Anywhere but a convent filled with innocent women and guilty thoughts. But it was too late now. And maybe he didn't want to be saved. He watched Alara from a distance. The way she lingered near the roses. The way she bit her lip when deep in thought. The way she avoided looking at him for more than a second, like 1 second too long would undo her. It would. And God helped them both, he was counting on it. 1 week later. The confessional was supposed to be a place of truth. Alara had entered it with that intention. She didn't expect to find it occupied. She heard the soft scrape of shoes behind the curtain. I didn't mean to interrupt, she began, hesitant. You didn't, came the familiar voice. Her breath caught. Matteo? Confessing my sins, he said, voice low, amused. Figured it's about time. This is for clergy. And you're a nun. That's different. Is it? Silence bloomed between them. She could hear his breathing through the screen. Steady. Measured. Intimate. What are you confessing? She asked, despite herself. A pause. I lied about who I am, he said slowly. I've broken promises. Burned bridges. Hurt people I once loved. And now. He hesitated. Now I think I'm about to ruin someone who's never done anything wrong. Elara swallowed hard. Then stop. I can't. She stood, heart hammering, ready to flee, but when she opened the booth, he was already there. He stepped out of the other side. Towering. Silent. And then, against every rule, vow, and commandment, he kissed her. It wasn't violent or rushed. It was soft. Reverent. As if he knew he was touching something holy and wanted to burn for it. His hands cupped her face, rough against her skin. She gasped into his mouth, lips parting in stunned betrayal of her own body. And then, she kissed him back. Just once. Before she pulled away, wide-eyed. She turned and fled, robes trailing behind her like the wings of a fallen angel. Mateo leaned against the booth, cursing under his breath. He shouldn't have done that. He hadn't meant to. But something about her undid him, the way she looked like purity bottled into a storm. And he'd never been good at resisting storms. That night, the abbess announced a surprise inspection by the archdiocese. Elara's heart still thundered from the kiss, and now her nerves frayed under the added pressure. Worse, Mateo had been reassigned to help prepare the church for the visit. That meant more time together. More chances to slip. To burn. She tried to avoid him, but it was impossible. He was everywhere, hauling crates, adjusting candles, fixing altar cloths, shirt unbuttoned just enough to be sinful. "Careful, sister," he murmured as he passed by. "You look like you've seen a ghost. You shouldn't have kissed me. You kissed me back." She stared at him, cheeks flushed, lips still remembering. It was a mistake. He leaned in, voice a breath against her ear. "Then let's keep making it." Later that evening, she found a note tucked under her gardening gloves. "Come to the bell tower. Midnight. No vows, no rules. Just truth." She didn't go. But she thought about it. 4 hours. And the next day, she made a mistake. She followed him. He'd left the tool shed open. She told herself she was returning something. But then she saw it, inside his bag, the gun. Not a garden tool. Not a relic. A gun. Sleek. Loaded. Hidden under spare clothes and forged papers. And suddenly everything made sense. The way he moved. The way he watched the gates. The way he avoided cameras. He wasn't a gardener. And she was in too deep. Looking for something? His voice behind her made her jump. She turned slowly. Mateo stood in the doorway, shadows painting his face in sharp angles. "You lied," she whispered. "I told you I wasn't good. You're a criminal. I'm a survivor. You kissed me. I wanted to kiss you before I even knew your name. I should report you. Then do it." They stood frozen. And then, in a voice more broken than bold, he added, "But I didn't come here to hurt anyone. I just needed somewhere to breathe." Elara stared at him. A runaway. A sinner. A liar. And yet, she believed him. She didn't report him. Instead, she walked away. But that night, she returned to the rose garden. And found him already there. Waiting. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.